Moving on to our final topic of the night, and that's Marlon Humphrey, the Ravens cornerback. Marlon Humphrey volunteering in his offseason and in his off time, volunteering to go back to his high school to coach track and field and to coach the hurdlers in specific. But what an amazing thing, especially for an NFL player to do with his free time.
No question. I mean, I didn't run track in high school. If people know me, they know I am very slow. But to have a guy like that who's the high school track coach, who's an NFL player in his prime right now, I think this is going to be his 4th year in the NFL coming up. An awesome player at Alabama, but he's going back to Hoover High School. Matt, the football program there is unreal. I'm not sure what the track program reputation is. I would imagine it's good. They certainly have good athletes there. They certainly have guys with speed and guys who are strong and can throw for the track team. But just to have a guy like that as your track coach is you're just going to gain more kids that are going to go participate in that sport because of the popularity of that guy. On top of the fact that he's volunteering, so it doesn't cost the school anything. We know budgets for high schools athletics are really tight. I know their budget in Hoover is probably a lot higher than some other schools, but still, helping out a high school with that, helping out these kids and getting involved. And just sometimes when guys like this do stuff like this for kids, the kids just, appreciate that. It shows that these guys care, that they want to show up for these kids. The fact that the guy makes millions of dollars or plays on Sundays on TV is great, but also showing that he remembers what it was like to be them, not too long ago, I think is the biggest part about this.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the guy's making millions of dollars. He could just be at home, like sitting poolside, lounging, but instead, every offseason, he goes back home to Alabama and is coaching track and field at his high school. So I think it says two things. I think it says Marlon Humphrey is an amazing guy volunteering his time to go back to help these kids. And I think it says a lot about Hoover High School, valuing their alumni and having people come back. And it shows that people want to come back and still be part of the process and help out the next generation. So it says a lot. And this young gentleman that you're seeing right here, he specifically said that Marlon has been a huge impact for him and has really made a difference for him as a coach. And I think that's what our job is as a coach. We obviously want to win games. We want to win meets. But our real job is developing young men and young women and making sure that they can go to the next level of life and be successful. And so I think Marlon is doing a great job of doing that. And wow, volunteering your time, like I said, when you have millions of dollars and you don't have to do it, he could be doing his own workouts, getting ready for the season. But instead, he's going back to Alabama to be a track coach. And honestly, he said when he meets people now, like honestly, most people don't know maybe who Marlon Humphrey is. If you're not an NFL fan, you might not notice him when you walk up on him, right? So he said when he meets people now, when they ask him what he does, he says that he's a track coach. He said that he's a track coach because he said, that's how much I love it. And that's how much it means to me. And I do see myself as a track coach because only time he's playing football is during the fall now. During the rest of the time, the rest of the year, he's down in Hoover, Alabama, volunteering as a track coach.
Yeah, very cool. And that's awesome that he tells people that. And it just shows you how humble he is, too. He's not walking around saying, I play in the NFL. He's like, actually, I'm the Hoover High School track coach. That's awesome that he does that. And it shows, you don't have to be a professional athlete to make a huge difference. And I think he's showing that, even though he is one that, you can just be this humble guy, walking around your hometown, walking around campus and just doing good things. I mean, we saw in the tweet video there that he was dragging the hurdles around. He wasn't saying like, I'm too good for that. He was just helping out, and that goes miles for kids. And Brandon, as a coach, how much that kids appreciate stuff like that. So good for Marlon Humphrey. There's a lot of guys in professional sports that do stuff like that, but good to highlight him, somebody like him with everything going on right now. But that's going to do it for our show this week, folks. That's 10 sports topics that we went over. Again, make sure you check out our Twitter handles at the bottom of the screen. Also, make sure you go to YouTube and subscribe with Comeback Sports. check out our YouTube channel. Check out all the different videos, all the different cut-ups. Our producer, Ben Kudo, is working his tail off to get those cut-ups out there. If you want to look at some of the segments by themselves, you can do that, or you can watch the whole show. We've certainly discussed a lot again this week. There's going to be a lot again next week. We're going to be going back to March Madness for sure. We're probably going to be going back to NFL free agency. We might, we'll see if anything happens with the Deshaun Watson situation. A lot of other stuff that actually happened today that we weren't able to get to that we might get to next week. So a lot of good stuff next week. But thank you again for watching us here at Comeback Sports, everybody. We'll see you next time. Have a good night.